meteorologist Eric Gage.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And boy, those poor folks, especially in Whitesboro and so many other areas dealing with that flooding, but that rain came down hard and for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. We did the numbers, specifically Bill did the numbers, and we've only had one other time we've seen this much rain in December. And we're thinking the combination of the saturated moisture in the soil and along with the heavy rainfall we usually don't see in December is what caused this to happen. Now, we're monitoring the area, streams and dams. Here's a look at what's going on right now at Mohawk River Delta Dam. Expected to crest below flood stage Wednesday morning. This is not going to flood at this point based off of the latest forecast numbers. Checking it at Oneida Creek at Oneida. It has plummeted. It is now 6.89 feet, flood stage 11 feet, crested at moderate flood stage yesterday. And again, good news is it's continuing to lower. Third, West Canada Creek at Hinckley, current water level a little bit below flood stage right now. I mean, expected to crest near flood stage by Wednesday morning as well. And then finally, West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge, current water level 5.15 feet, flood stage 6 feet. It crested yesterday midday at minor flooding, and of course it's continuing to lower. You have some other areas we are checking out too. Haven't had time to make those graphics just yet this morning. One of those which is Black River, and as well as heading up to Moose River at McKeever. That crested and is continuing to fall right now, but it is at minor flood stage at this point. And then finally, we do have Uinta River, or Susquehanna River, I should say, in Unadilla, which is continuing to rise. This will be our main focus as we head into this afternoon. But no more additional rain is expected. We do have some snow showers pushing through. No true impacts regarding snowfall accumulations, but enough to produce a few flurries in the air. Some light snow showers this morning. And again, quiet weather as we head into the next several days. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Well, folks, across several communities.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning, happy Tuesday. You can see on a live view of our Nexus camera at downtown Utica, some flurries falling, light snow. Temperatures at the surface are still above freezing, so you can see the roads right now are wet and no huge travel impacts are expected for your morning commute today. But the higher hilltops could see a dusting of snow, maybe as high as 2 to 3 inches on the absolute highest hilltops. But by the afternoon, a few flurries, mostly cloudy skies, things do quiet down and remain quiet for the rest of the work week. And real quick, taking a look at road conditions across central New York. We're taking a look at Clinton Street, New York 69. Again, wet roads, arterial, and Utica also looking wet. Route 20 looking fine there as well. And then finally looking at Genesee Street heading into downtown Utica. It is currently looking fine. Now, radar is showing patches of some light snow showers here and there, especially ones out near Fulton, Montgomery County. And finally, some light snow showers out here in the western portion of central New York. This will sweep east throughout the morning, and then some lingering flurries are possible this afternoon. Again, this does come to an end. Things do quiet down. We have some sunshine on the horizon. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. The Defense Department says there is only...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, happy Tuesday. Continuing to monitor area creeks and dams. And for the most part, all are starting to fall with water levels. We are monitoring just a couple that are still near flood stage or continuing to rise. Let's take a look at that flood map right now. We have a few flood warnings in effect. First, let's take a look at northern Oneida County and northern Herkimer County. Moose River at McKeever peaked at moderate flood stage later on last night. It is continuing to fall at this point. Secondly, if you live near Black River at Boonville, it is starting to crest at minor flood stage, 10.22 feet, still starting to fall. Now, our actual real concern we're talking about right now is down for the folks near Unadilla. Susquehanna River, it is still starting to rise. It is entering flood stage at this point. Flood stage is 10.9 feet. It has reached 11.01 feet as of 4 a.m. So the only increasing flooding threat at this point looks to be in southern Otsego County. Now, the rain is pretty much over and done with. It's mixing with some few snowflakes this morning as those temperatures are currently in the low 30s with a decent breeze from the west-southwest, 11 miles per hour, feels like 23. And we're going to enter a cooler stretch, no longer seeing those near 50-degree temperatures like we saw yesterday. As a matter of fact, down 17 degrees 24 hours ago. And as we enter again the next few days, things are trending cooler. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing scattered light snow showers at this point. This short wave will continue to pull east into our area, producing some light snow, maybe a trace to an inch, 2 inches in the lowest elevations, but the highest elevations could see 2 to 3 max snowfall totals by the time this is said and done. Scattered snow showers for today. Quiet weather moves in Wednesday through Friday. Now, clouds will likely hang on for a little bit on Wednesday. I'm not too confident in us seeing a lot of sunshine, but plenty of sunshine is expected for Thursday as high pressure builds in, and still looking at some sunshine with a few clouds in store for our Friday. Again, the short wave out to the west continues to pull east. This is where the cold air was, if you're wondering why we had a strong nor'easter yesterday and no snow. But there's Skycast still seeing those scattered snow showers this morning. Temperatures cooling down throughout the day, down into the upper 20s by 5 p.m., into the low 20s as some skies clear out by early tomorrow morning. Then some clearing, could see a good sunrise for Wednesday morning, but clouds will move in from lake effect and might be stubborn and stick around for a little bit. You could see plenty of sunshine for those of you who live down in Otsego County, but regardless, clouds continue into Wednesday night and early Thursday with some sunshine expected by Thursday afternoon. So for today, light snow showers, flurries later, cooling down tonight. Low of 21 with some passing clouds. Your 7-day forecast. A few clouds hanging on Wednesday, first day of winter. Looking quiet with some sunshine, pretty pleasant. And besides a weak shortwave on Saturday, producing maybe some rain, snow, and higher elevations. At this point, Sunday, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day, it's in the 40s.
Wow.
And with sunshine.
Yeah.
So
Santa make an appearance on the 7-day for the first time, huh?
oh yeah, I've missed this 7-day appearance for the past year.
Yeah, well, you'll enjoy it for what, 7?
7 more days, I guess.
More than that. The time right now is 5:24. Still.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberator.
Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a few snowflakes flying we saw in the city of Utica over that shot earlier.
Yeah, a few flakes flying, not what we saw yesterday, which was that heavy rain. Heavy rain and more heavy rain. A lot of the area picked up, I think, roughly over 2 inches for a lot of central New York. Some locations received over 4 inches of rain.
Wow.
We're talking about monthly amounts. Like, you see that amount of rain over an entire month all in one day. So along with the saturated soil, it starts to make sense on why we started having flooding issues for yesterday. Before today, though, we're monitoring a few of the area dams and creeks, and a few to mention right now. Mohawk River at Delta Dam, current water level 550, flood stage 551, and it is expected to crest below flood stage by Wednesday morning. So it is still slowly rising, but no immediate concern with that as well. Oneida Creek, it crested yesterday at moderate flood level. It is continuing to fall, thankfully. Thirdly, West Canada Creek at Hinckley, current water level 1,222 feet. It is expected to crest near flood stage again Wednesday, but will continue to fall after that. And then finally, West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge, 5.15 feet. It crested yesterday during the mid-afternoon. And then minor flooding, it wasn't minor flooding, it will continue to lower. Now, there are a few other locations. Of course, I'll create those graphics as I get more time this morning. But as you can see, we do have a few to look at up here in northern Eddy County. First being Moose River and, of course, Black River as well. Those are right in the minor flood stage at this point, but our attention will be, of course, down near Susquehanna in the Unadilla area. Scattered snow showers for today. A few flurries lingering this afternoon into this evening before quiet weather moves in as we head into the next several days. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Staying on the story of
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Good morning, happy Tuesday. A look at this morning's weather picture of the day, which will also be showcased tomorrow on our Facebook page, WKTV Weather. Take a look at this right here. Beautiful shot of a sunset at Columbia Center, sent in by Mark Minter. And if you want your picture here on News Channel 2 at sunrise, possibly showcased with Bill Cardis in the evening shows, of course, submit your pictures on our website, wktv.com/weather/pics. Now, a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar, showing some light snow showers moving across central New York. Higher snowfall rates located in north central Herkimer County, in between Old Forge and Utica, and higher snowfall rates as well as you head up closer to portions of Lewis County. Now, as this system continues to push eastward, snowfall rates will decrease, and some light snow showers are expected this morning. Those temperatures starting out in the mid to low 30s, cooling down throughout this morning and this afternoon, and some cooler weather is on the way for the next few days. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Just 4 weeks until the 2024 primary season kicks off.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy Tuesday. A bit cooler this morning compared to yesterday, and aside from the widespread rain, today we're dealing with just a few scattered light snow showers and turning to flurries by this afternoon. Let's take a look at those area creeks and dams. We do have 2 flood warnings currently in effect for our local area. First off, up in the northern portion of Eddy County, including Moose River and Black River. And both of these are crested, have crested already and are continuing to fall. The Susquehanna down in Unadilla, it hasn't crested yet. It's expected to crest by the next few hours before starting to fall, but it is starting to enter flood stage at this point. We'll have graphics for this coming up in just a few minutes. Downtown Utica, showing wet roads. If you can barely see it on your screen, just some very light shards of snow coming through with those temperatures still right around freezing at 32 degrees. These snow showers are struggling to turn into flakes. So it's more of a light sleet snow mix right now here in the lowest elevations. You can see a decent wind from the west-southwest. Still chillier, way chillier than yesterday morning. 17 degrees lower. It was 49 at this time yesterday and is now at 32 degrees. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar, showing a weak shortwave pushing through central New York. You can see some heavier snowfall rates in those dark blue areas, but aside from that, no true impacts today aside from some light accumulation on the roadways in higher elevations. Treated roads in lowest elevations will be fine we could see a dusting to maybe an inch or so heading into the I-90 corridor east of Utica. Snowfall look showing scattered snow showers for today, but we're looking dry as we head into Wednesday, into Friday, and the start of the weekend. Overcast skies today. I'm thinking the clouds might hang on to the lake effect a little while longer tomorrow, but regardless, sunshine is expected on Thursday with a few clouds passing through on Friday. So here's the bigger picture. Cold air finally sweeping in. A weak shortwave pushing through central New York, and we can see on our Skycast this morning turning to some light lake effect generally south of and west of Utica by the afternoon. So the I-90 corridor heading out towards Syracuse is where the lake effect light snow bands will set up for the most part. If you do live out east of Utica, you're not likely to see any of that lake effect snow beyond noontime. And then 5 p.m., lingering clouds, a few flurries here and there. And skies do clear out a little bit heading into early tomorrow morning. That'll cause those temperatures to plummet down into the low 20s before, again, we're dealing with some lake effect clouds on Wednesday. Some sunshine should peek out as we look to the south. And so for today, highs this morning in the mid to low 30s, cooling down throughout the day. Light snow showers, flurries later tonight down to 21 degrees. 7-day forecast. Lingering clouds Wednesday, sunshine for the first day of winter, and besides a weak disturbance on Saturday, it's looking pretty quiet heading to Christmas Eve and into Christmas. Be right back.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a lot of folks having a lot of cleanup to do after all that flooding.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and at least with here in like the Whitesboro area, it's happened again, and it's just unfortunate to see that. And we do have some updates on the flooding, at least the latest numbers and water levels at this point. Let's take a look at them right now. I want to get through as much as I can. First off, Mohawk River Delta Dam, 550.14 feet, expected to crest below flood stage by tomorrow morning. Oneida Creek at Oneida, currently 6.12 feet. It has plummeted, thankfully. It crested at moderate stage yesterday, and it will continue to lower. West Canada at Hinckley, it is slowly continuing to rise. Crest near flood stage Wednesday morning, again, before slowly starting to lower. And then some new numbers I got in here. Black River at Boonville, current water level 10.19 feet. It just went below the flood stage total, starting to lower this morning. Moose River at McKeever, 12.6 feet, flood stage 12, crested overnight. At moderate flood stage, it is also continuing to lower. And then finally, Susquehanna River at Unadilla, current water level 11.12 feet, flood stage at 11 feet, continuing to rise and likely to crest this morning and then lower. And so that's a look at those flood alerts across the area this morning. Regarding weather for the current term, well, we got some snow showers pushing in from the west, maybe some light accumulations, and the highest elevations traced to an inch as you head down near the I-90 corridor. But as you head east of Utica, barely anything is expected to accumulate on the ground. For today, though, light snow showers, a few flurries later on. We do have more quiet weather on the horizon as we look ahead to the days leading up to Christmas. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Folks across several communities.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Taking a live view at downtown Utica. Roads are currently fine. Temperature 32 degrees. And with that temperature, you can see, if you can barely see it, in the street light right there, some light snow starting to fall. And this snow is on the wet side. It's also very small, like those smaller flakes. So with these current these snow conditions right now, not expect to see any real accumulation on the roadways, especially in the lowest elevations as you head out the door this morning. So again, your commute cast, aside from hilltops seeing some light snow accumulation on untreated roads, main roads will be fine with some light snow this evening, a few lingering flurries, but for the most part, things are looking okay. A look at current conditions all across the Utica area. First off, the arterial got some rain showers currently collecting on the lens, but for the most part, looking at wet roads. Same with out near Clinton Street, Genesee Street, also looking wet and fine. And finally, looking at Route 20 and Route 8, see some snow falling, but still roads are looking okay. We still got some more light snow showers to deal with as the morning progresses, but behind this, we're looking at just a few lingering flurries and then quiet weather as we head into the rest of the work week. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. The Defense Department says there is only about 1 million.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. No more widespread heavy rainfall in our forecast. In fact, this morning we're dealing with kind of the opposite, if you want to call it that. Some light snow showers taking place right now. Already a trace amount starting to accumulate up here on Smith Hill in Deerfield. Let's take a look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. Before I get to the snowfall today, I'll give you a sneak peek on a trivia question I'll be doing this weekend. If you want to look smart in front of your friends and family, how many times has rain been recorded in Utica, Rome for more than 2 inches in one day? Only once before this past system moved through the area. So this is definitely something we don't see every day here in central New York. Current conditions, light snow, 32 degrees. Snow is rough to stick on the surfaces, the treated roads this morning, as again, we are still dealing with warmer temperatures. As you head up north, looking at Old Forge this morning, the side roads and highest elevations could get some snow on it, but of course, there's no immediate travel issues expected on those main roads. Currently in Old Forge, it is 30 degrees. Still 17 degrees cooler than it was yesterday morning. In fact, checking in around 6 a.m. yesterday, temperatures were near 50 at 49 degrees. So definitely a huge dip in those temperatures. A weak shortwave is pushing through central New York. We're seeing some snow showers move through in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Dot on the radar. Behind this, snow will lighten up and become more isolated, especially just west and south of Utica along the I-90 corridor. Sky watchers this morning, we're talking about temperatures and rainfall totals. Look at this right here. Mike in New Hartford picking up 2.4 inches of total rainfall. Let's head out to Todd and Westdale. 4.14 inches of rain since Sunday. That is just astronomical. That's talking about like monthly totals only in a span of a day or two. But temperatures, you can see 33 above freezing in Clinton, 28 up in Forestport, 31 with Bill and Old Forge. Southern Valleys, Diane and West Lawrence, 30 degrees. Milford, 32 degrees. And of course, Stewart and Cooperstown with 31. Some scattered snow showers today. Quiet weather moves in for the near future. And we can see behind this snow system right here, we got some clear skies following it. So your skycast for today is talking about some light snow showers this morning, making way for some lingering lake effect snow generally south and west of Utica. Then overnight tonight, temperatures falling down into the low 20s with some clearing skies here and there, but still clouds will move their way back in from lake effect tomorrow afternoon. Maybe some sunshine peeking into the southern valleys, but I think they might stick around a little while longer up here on the I-90 corridor and north. And so for today, highs in the mid to low 30s, cooling down throughout the day. Flurries later on tonight, down into low 20s, passing clouds. 7-day forecast. After tomorrow, first day of winter, some sunshine, temperatures mid 30s. Same for Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we might be dealing with a weak disturbance bringing some light rain and maybe some snow showers, but that looks to exit our area by Sunday and into Monday. So early call, maybe possibly way too early call on Christmas. No white Christmas but sunshine. So we'll take that.
Yeah, a lot of sun over the next 6 days.
Yeah, not too characteristic for December standards.
That's for sure. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were saying that some spots saw almost 4 inches of rain yesterday.
Yeah, 4 inches of rain in a span of a day or so. Like that is just unprecedented. That's talking about monthly rainfall in just that, again, that short of a span. That was out in Westdale. Now, some areas around here, most locations were around 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches for a lot of the highest accumulations around the area. But again, that was the highest total from our Skywatcher Todd out in Westdale. A look at those area streams, creeks, and dams. First off, I want to talk about Susquehanna River at Unadilla. This is continuing to rise. Current water level just above flood stage. It's likely to crest this morning and then lower. So if you're in the Unadilla area, there could be some floodwaters down there. Secondly, Mohawk River at Delta Dam. It's expected to crest below flood stage Wednesday morning. It is slowly continuing to rise at this point, but no huge concerns with that as well. Oneida Creek at Oneida continuing to plummet, thankfully, now at just over 6 feet, flood stage 11 feet, crested yesterday at moderate flood stage. West Canada Creek at Hinckley, it is expected to crest near flood stage Wednesday morning, and then it's slowly lower. And then, of course, heading down West Canada Creek at Castbridge, water level 5 feet, flood stage 6. So again, that is lowering as well. And then 2 more to talk about right now. Black River at Boonville. It is still cresting at this point. It is right on the border of flood stage, and it will slowly start to lower later on today. And then finally, Moose River at McKeever. It is above flood stage right now, and it will continue to lower. So that's an overview of the flooded area, streams, and creeks at this point. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar, still showing some snow pushing through our area. Again, we're not talking about anything major in terms of snowfall, maybe a few inches or more of accumulation in the highest elevations, trace to maybe an inch, if that, as you head east from Utica down I-90. But again, for today, some light snow showers, flurries later on. After today, we're talking about quiet weather as we head into the days before Christmas. Full details on that coming up. Back to
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Libertor.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were saying that some spots saw almost 4 inches of rain yesterday.
Yeah, 4 inches of rain in a span of a day or so. Like that is just unprecedented. That's talking about monthly rainfall in just that, again, that short of a span. That was out in Westdale. Now, some areas around here, most locations were around 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches for a lot of the highest accumulations around the area. But again, that was the highest total from our Skywatcher Todd out in Westdale. A look at those area streams, creeks, and dams. First off, I want to talk about Susquehanna River at Unadilla. This is continuing to rise. Current water level just above flood stage. It's likely to crest this morning and then lower. So if you're in the Unadilla area, there could be some floodwaters down there. Secondly, Mohawk River at Delta Dam. It's expected to crest below flood stage Wednesday morning. It is slowly continuing to rise at this point, but no huge concerns with that as well. Oneida Creek at Oneida continuing to plummet, thankfully, now at just over 6 feet, flood stage 11 feet, crested yesterday at moderate flood stage. West Canada Creek at Hinckley, it is expected to crest near flood stage Wednesday morning, and then it's slowly lower. And then, of course, heading down West Canada Creek at Castbridge, water level 5 feet, flood stage 6. So again, that is lowering as well. And then two more to talk about right now. Black River at Boonville. It is still cresting at this point. It is right on the border of flood stage, and it will slowly start to lower later on today. And then finally, Moose River at McKeever. It is above flood stage right now, and it will continue to lower. So that's an overview of the flooded area, streams, and creeks at this point. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar, still showing some snow pushing through our area. Again, we're not talking about anything major in terms of snowfall, maybe a few inches or more of accumulation in the highest elevations, trace to maybe an inch, if that, as you head east from Utica down I-90. But again, for today, some light snow showers, flurries later on. After today, we're talking about quiet weather as we head into the days before Christmas. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. We are staying on the story.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Good morning and welcome back. This morning we are dealing with just some light to moderate snow showers, taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar. The darker blues indicating higher snowfall rates, some patches of light snow as you head into Otsego County, but the area seeing the highest snowfall rates currently in central to northern Herkimer County, as well as the eastern portion of Oneida County at this point. And look at those temperatures, still right around freezing, 32 degrees Westwind, 34 over in Little Falls. With these temperatures still on the warmer side, these snow showers, at least the snow, is not expected to stick too much, especially in the lowest elevations along the I-90 corridor, Utica, heading out to portions of Little Falls and Herkimer. Today's weather photo sent in by Mark, a beautiful sunset as you take a look right here in Columbia Center. Look at that shot, it's absolutely beautiful. If you want to send your picture in to the News Channel 2 at sunrise shows, or possibly to see them during the evening shows, as well as it will be posted on our Facebook page, WKTV News Channel 2. Submit them at wktv.com/weather/pics. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are just about a month away from primary season.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. After a pretty significant rainfall event yesterday, things are quieting down relatively, at least regarding rain showers. You do have some snow in the forecast for this morning. Let's take a look outside in Old Forge. Current temperature 30 degrees and some dusting of snow taking place on Route 28 on a main road you can see right there in Old Forge. Even the side roads still seeing some accumulation on those roads. But as you look to the lower elevations, a live view of downtown Utica, you see the snow flying right now, but the roads are looking fine. The main roads and the lowest elevations are treated. No travel impacts are expected, aside, again, if you do live in those higher elevations. Currently 32 degrees, light snow showers. A bit breezy, though. I would say more on the windy side. 16-mile-per-hour winds, feels like 21 out. So a huge difference compared to yesterday. Yesterday morning, 49 degrees to start out the day. So definitely a big cool down. Live look at Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing scattered snow showers taking place, primarily this darker blue region in between Herkimer and Oneida County, as well as heading up all through Herkimer County at this point. Highest elevations could see between dusting as high as 3 inches on the hilltops, but the Mohawk Valley I-90 corridor would struggle to see a trace to maybe an inch of snow. If you head out east, closer to Little Falls, St. Johnsville, the chances of seeing any accumulating snow goes down to near zero. Sky watches across the area, bringing in those temperatures and those rainfall totals. Starting out, Clinton, 33 degrees, for Sport Kevin, 28.2. But look at these rainfall totals. 2.4 inches in New Hartford, but out near Westdale, 4.14 inches of total rain. This is a monthly total, what we usually see for an entire month. And of course, that took place just only in the past few days. Up in the North Country, Bill and Sean up in Old Forge Inlet, 31, 32 degrees. So still pretty common temperature across the area in the low 30s. Lastly, Hartwick, 2.23 inches of rainfall with Deb. Now snowfall, some scattered snow today, but quiet weather moves in over the next few days. And you can see right here, the weak disturbance pushing through the area. Quiet weather moves in behind it. So your skycast for today showing scattered snow showers, make way for some isolated lake effect, generally south and west of Utica. Excuse me. And then heading into tonight, lingering clouds make way for some clearing. Heading to early tomorrow morning, temperatures plummeting down into the low 20s. Then for tomorrow, sunshine possible south of Route 20, but I think some lake effect clouds might stick around a little while longer as you head to Utica north. So for today, highs in the low to mid 30s, cooling down throughout the afternoon. Tonight, down into the low 20s, some passing clouds. Your 7-day forecast, sunshine expected for the first day of winter. It's looking pretty quiet for there as well. Friday, some sunshine, maybe some light rain and snow in the highest elevations on Saturday. That looks to be the only real notable weather maker for the next several following today. And so at this point, the Christmas Eve and Christmas forecast looking more mild, low 40s, but sunshine. So in my opinion, I don't think there'll be a white Christmas. Unfortunate for those who love the snow, and at least for me, I like a little dusting on Christmas Day, but I'll take sunshine and 40s.
Yeah, a lot of sunshine for December. It's kind of refreshing, yeah. Eric, thanks. Well, take a look at this. The volcano Iceland has erupted. The nearly 4,000 inhabitants of the fishing town of Grindavik had to be evacuated because of this, and it has also closed the nearby Blue Lagoon geothermal spa. And if you're just waking up, we have the day's big stories straight ahead for you, as well as the Storm Tracker 2 forecast. Never more.
Now, you're watching News Channel 2 at 7 a.m. on CW 11 with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on the CW 11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were quick to get that wasp spotter. There's a big wasp in here.
Yeah, right before we get on, there goes a wasp just flying across the screen, and yeah, and so I have it handy in case it lands right on your head. A look at the current conditions right now. We're following the latest numbers on water levels on area creeks, streams, rivers, and dams. The main focus we have right now is at Susquehanna River at Unadilla. It is above flood stage right now. Expected to climb a little bit before cresting late this morning and then falling below flood stage by later on again this morning. Mohawk River at Delta Dam expected to crest below flood stage Wednesday morning. It is still expected to rise a little bit as well. Oneida Creek at Oneida plummeting, thankfully. Water levels are going back down to near normal after hitting a moderate flood stage yesterday as well. West Canada Creek at Hinckley, again expected to crest near flood stage tomorrow and then continue to lower. Good news on the West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge. Current level 5 feet. It went below flood stage yesterday. Still, we are in flood stages out in Black River in Boonville, cresting at this point, 10.2 feet. It'll start to lower this morning as well. Then finally, Moose River at McKeever, above flood stage. It is still lowering, and so that's the good news. And here's a look at the flood warnings across central New York, noticing the light green indicating the ones that are still at flood stage. Again, Moose River, Black River, and Susquehanna River down in Unadilla. Now, with the radar, we're talking about a few scattered snow showers taking place right now. In the valley, it's getting hard for it to stick. Those temperatures are still too warm. And so for today, temperatures cooling down in the low to mid 30s this morning, into the low 30s by this afternoon and this evening, with temperatures plummeting down into the 20s overnight tonight. And after snow showers today, more quiet weather is on the horizon. Full details on that and that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Folks across several area communities.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy Tuesday. After widespread rain yesterday, heavy rainfall, things are cooling down and now we're seeing some snow showers. Take a live look at Cooperstown this morning. Currently 32 degrees. Snow is falling there. Roads are looking pretty much okay. Different story as you head up to the North Country up in Old Forge. Route 28, a little snowy on the roads, but the side roads, again, are going to be covered with a little bit of accumulation again in those highest elevations. It is below freezing up there now, 29 degrees. Downtown Utica, you can see lowered visibility out in the distance from those snow showers, but again, the main roads are fine. Currently looking at Route 5S in Utica. And then the temperature, 32 degrees, a decent wind from the west at 12 miles per hour. Still much more cool this morning compared to yesterday. Yesterday morning's temperature was 49 degrees. Now it is 17 degrees lower at 32. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Top of the radar, still some scattered snow showers taking place across the area. Expect this to continue for the majority of the early morning to before this afternoon as things do quiet down with just a few lingering flurries and mostly cloudy skies. Sky watchers across the area, temperatures 33 with Bob and Clinton, 28 up in Forestport. Rainfall totals 2.4 inches in New Hartford, 4.14 inches out in Westdale. Definitely a huge event rain-wise across the area yesterday. North Country 31-32, although it has cooled down a degree or so since the report this morning. And then lastly, Southern Valleys in the low 30s, Hartwick with 2.23 inches of rainfall. Scattered snow showers today, quiet weather moves in for the next few days as well. And although we have clouds this morning and this afternoon, a few breaks possible Wednesday, but still lingering on the cloudy side, especially north of I-90, with more sunshine possible on Thursday. Weak shortwave pushing through central New York, bringing with it some snow showers. You can see it right here in our skycast. By this evening, lingering lake effect generally west of Utica. Before that turns to some light flurries heading into the overnight hours. Then by early tomorrow morning, some sunshine peeking out. Clouds start to increase from lake effect, lingering for a little bit with some sunshine possible south of the valley. And so for today, highs in the mid to low 30s, cooling down throughout the afternoon. Tonight, down into the low 20s with a few passing clouds. 7-day forecast, sunshine, first day of winter, warming up into the 40s by this weekend.
Hi, I'm Joni Grandy. It's time for Hospice's Light of Life campaign.
And I'm Steve McMurray. Joni and I invite you to remember a loved one during Hospice's Light Up a Life holiday memorial.
You're watching News Channel 2 at noon with Gary Liberator.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberator.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And after the heavy rain caused major flooding Sunday night into Monday, people are still cleaning up today.
Yeah, that's right. And we got drone video here sent in to us, and you can just see the absolute devastation right here. And this is unfortunate because this has happened to this community numerous times in the past several years. Yeah, in Whitesboro. Yeah, and as you can see here, it goes not only into parts of the fields, but also into these homes, these yards too, flooded basements. It's just unfortunate seeing this here locally. So,
And today, a few snowflakes as they continue to try to clean up, right?
yeah, a few snowflakes, thankfully not too bad, just a few hanging around in the area right now. But before I get to that, though, I want to talk about some rainfall totals. So let's take a look at the local area right now. First off, I'm going to start out with a look at Mohawk at Delta Dam. Flood level is 551 feet. It's currently below flood stage, near flood stage with rising levels. Black River at Boonville, it is currently at minor flooding stage, but the good news is the water levels are falling. And then third, Moose at McKeever, Moose River, it is currently at near flood stage. And again, it is going to be cresting for today. It is also falling. And finally, Oneida Creek at Oneida, that is also falling as well. Other areas to mention, Susquehanna downstream is still rising. It will continue to rise until around the next few hours, crest, and then soon lower after that. So again, Susquehanna is still rising. West Canada Creek at Hinckley is still rising, expected to crest near flood stage by tomorrow morning. And then finally, looking out in Herkimer County, West Canada Creek at Cass Bridge, water levels are falling, thankfully. And by the time the next few days arrive, should be down to normal levels. Flood alerts, again, those warnings, flood warnings are in effect for the areas of Black River as well as Susquehanna. Scattered snow showers taking place right now due to lake effect. And for today, those lake effect snow showers will stick around. Maybe some accumulation as you head into the hilltops south in the Mohawk Valley. I'm talking about when this snowfall comes to an end and what to expect for the rest of the work week coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And this should serve as a reminder right here. Do not venture into floodwaters thinking you can get across them. This is on Leland Ave in North Utica. Just over an hour ago, you can see in the deepest part there, the water may be about a foot deep, which when you run your car through it, it can cause it to stall out, as was the case right there. The female driver inside was helped by first responders to dry ground, but again, there are still some issues around the Mohawk Valley, so if you do see water ahead, do not try to drive through them. And that nor'easter hit a large portion of the country, and today millions of Americans are cleaning up from Florida to Maine with flooding rains, gusty winds, and for some, a big blast of snow. 2 people sadly died in this storm, and the severe weather is happening just as the holiday travel rush is getting underway. NBC's Emily Ikeda is at the Newark airport this noon with a look at the storm's impact.
The deadly winter wallop comes just as the holiday rush gets underway. This check-in point behind me has been bustling all morning long. And while the storm has moved off the East Coast, its effects linger. The risk of flooding remains near swollen rivers across the Northeast. Water rescues continuing to play out today. The region was battered by torrential rain, transforming roadways into waterways and stranding drivers. Wind gusts top 60 miles an hour in at least 7 states, knocking down trees and power lines, knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of people. We know at least 2 people tragically died in storm-related accidents in the Northeast. And the December deluge has also snarled travel. Travelers today hoping that the thousands of flight disruptions yesterday won't spill over into what's expected to be a record-breaking week for air travel. The TSA reporting this morning that they believe Thursday and Friday will be among some of the busiest days. They're expecting to screen more than 2.5 million passengers each day. That is a 6% increase compared to last year. I'm Emily Ikeda at Newark Airport for NBC News.
Back locally now, a Utica man is facing...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Quite a busy stretch of weather we've been experiencing over the past day or so. Widespread heavy rainfall yesterday, turning over to some snow showers today. It's a dusting in the lower elevations, some accumulation as you head up north and south of the valley. 1 inch reported by Bill or Skywatch in Old Forge. Different story yesterday. Again, this is that drone shot from Chris Flynn. You're going to see at Whitesboro, and it's just tragic seeing the flooding taking place yesterday in this neighborhood. And there is still flooding taking place right now. However, thankfully, river levels are starting to decline as the water continues to push downstream now into the Unadilla and Susquehanna rivers before it finally exits south of our area. Here's a live view of downtown Cooperstown from a Utica National Cooperstown camera, and you can see the temperature 30 degrees, a little cool out there this morning. However, you can see a few flurries flying. That's a common trend across a lot of central New York. Temperatures pretty much all in the upper 20s at this point, and definitely cooler compared to yesterday, about 16 degrees cooler at Griffiths and Rome compared to yesterday afternoon. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing some thin lake effect snow bands taking place. Some light snow up here in Oswego County. You can see a thin band moving through Hamilton and just here and there heading into Herkimer and Oneida counties. Now heading into the next few days, scattered snow showers coming to an end this afternoon. Then into the next Wednesday through Friday to wrap up the work week, looking at quiet conditions with no rain or snowfall expected. Regarding sunshine, overcast skies today, very little breaks, if any. A few breaks possible on Wednesday, but I'm thinking that some of the clouds will stick around a little longer north of I-90. Sunshine is expected on Thursday, although still on the cool side, and some passing clouds Friday, but I think the sun should peak out enough during the end of the work week. You can see a weak shortwave pushing through central New York, and it is weakening as it pushes east. And you can see this morning on our Skycast some snow showers starting to come to an end. Lingering clouds this evening, clearing out tonight. Overnight lows falling down into the low 20s with maybe some clear skies for your sunrise. However, lake effect clouds will move in and might keep things overcast north of I-90 by tomorrow afternoon. So for today, again, highs this morning cooling down throughout the day, already in the 20s tonight, down into the low 20s. Some passing clouds, clear by tomorrow morning, and then back to some clouds by the afternoon. First day of winter is looking dry with temperatures in the mid-30s. Sunshine continues for Friday, maybe some light rain and snow showers for Saturday, keeping it dry for now, but that could change. But regardless, Sunday, Christmas Eve, and Monday, Christmas, not looking too white. It's actually looking more warm and green with temperatures in the low 40s.
A green Christmas this year.
Yep.
Eric, thanks. Well, the village of Herkimer is considering eliminating school this half hour. Once again, here is meteorologist Eric Gage.
Again, recapping the rainfall event we saw yesterday, I want to put into perspective just how rare it is that we see over 2 inches of rain in the span of 24 hours in December. So here is a look at the past times, and it's only one other time. Back in 1973, 2.16 inches of rain fell. The official total at Griffiths and Rome was 2.13, and of course, there will be differing rainfall totals depending on your exact location, but regardless, 2 inches or more of rain in December is not common. And with this, we were thinking, doing some diving into exactly what causes flooding. The soil is not below freezing yet. We looked at down to 50 centimeters, and it's still above freezing. The soil was saturated with moisture, and that's what caused the flooding issues with a lot of these areas, streams and creeks. Look at the warnings right now. There is a flood warning in effect for Black River up here near Boonville. That is continuing to fall, so expect this flood warning to lift shortly. Regardless, still some flooded situations up there. And Unadilla River, Susquehanna River in Unadilla is still rising at flood stage right now. So those are the latest numbers from the area creeks and rivers. And so taking a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, still looking at some scattered light snow showers taking place from lake effect, and not picking up a whole lot of snow from this, just a few snow bands here and there. Maybe some few inches of snow accumulation in the highest elevations south and west of Utica. But after today, though, things are quieting down as more sunshine is on the horizon as you look to the end of the work week. Full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Folks across several communities.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. On the Cabby Tower camera you just saw out in the distance, a few isolated lake effect snow bands pushing across some areas of central New York this afternoon. Current temperatures, taking a look at Cooperstown right now from our Utica National Cooperstown camera. Temperatures across the area starting at 29 degrees in the village of Cooperstown, 30 Clinton, 31 degrees in Mohawk, Bill and Old Forge, 23 degrees, in Ilion with 31 as well. And for the most part, we're dealing with just some scattered snow showers, also a little breezy out there as well. Wind speeds of 12 to 15 miles per hour in this yellow area right here as those winds have turned more westerly into the Mohawk Valley. And the conditions all across central New York still dealing with some lake effect snow showers right now. And the temperatures also a bit cooler compared to yesterday, about 14 degrees lower than yesterday afternoon at Rome. Even more cool than yesterday morning, which was near 50 degrees, so a huge drop already down into the 20s. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing weak lake effect response from Lake Ontario taking place right now. Very, very thin lake effect bands. You can see them. They're almost like drawn like a pencil here on the radar. Now with the snowfall today, scattered snow showers for the most part, becoming more isolated this evening as the winds shift closer to the south. Then Wednesday through Friday, it's looking quiet and dry for the rest of the work week. Now with sunshine, overcast skies today, maybe a few breaks tomorrow. There is showing of some sunshine by tomorrow afternoon south of I-90, but I'm thinking some lake effect clouds will be lingering a bit longer in the afternoon. But sunshine is expected on Thursday, and some mixture of sun and clouds also in store for us by Friday. That weak shortwave is continuing to push east through our area, and as you can see, the snow shower coverage has weakened since early this morning. And so the snow showers, again, less widespread around noontime. A few lingering lake effect snow bands taking place right now. Very little accumulation expected. A dusting still possible in some areas. And heading to higher elevations, maybe 1 to 2 inches down south and west of Morrisville. Then lingering clouds tonight make way for some clearing skies early tomorrow morning as those temperatures plummet down into the low 20s. So for today, highs already in the 30s this morning, down into the 20s right now, continuing to fall into the low 20s this evening into tonight. And your 7-day forecast. After today, though, looking pretty quiet weather-wise. First day of winter, 30s with sunshine. Saturday, our next chance of seeing any rain or snow, mainly on the rain side with those temperatures still warmer than 32 degrees. And at this point, Christmas Eve and Christmas looking dry.
Green Christmas.
Bit of a green Christmas, yeah.
A little bit different. Eric, thanks. Well, we are staying on the story of the...
Where the news comes first. News Channel 2.
Tonight at 5, major repair work in Ilion will leave some people without water for an extended period of time. Also tonight, a teenager accused of terrorizing local businesses at gunpoint appears in court. And cyber service. Thanks to the National Defense Authorization Act, 2 local colleges can offer new scholarships.
Now, you're watching News Channel 2, live at 5 News Hour with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
The snow has stopped, but the temperature has dropped. This as flood cleanup continues. Devastation in a number of areas, and some roads are still closed. We'll have an update on that in just a minute. First, Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis is tracking what's to come.
Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on river levels throughout the day. We haven't had any additional problems. The floodwaters continue to recede, and as we go forward, we're not expecting any additional issues to come up in terms of rainfall. In fact, if anything, it's just going to be too cold to rain. We've been seeing some light snow out there today. Very light accumulations. Things are going to dry out tonight, and we're seeing the stage set for some cold weather overnight. Current temperature is 27 degrees, feels like 16. So again, some cold weather in central New York. Will clear out tonight. The weather remains seasonably cold and dry over the next several days. And as we look ahead towards Christmas weekend and Christmas Day, the weather turns mild. An unusually warm stretch of weather, warm for our standards, is expected as we head into the holiday. Some flurries around this evening, temperatures in the 20s, again drying out and cooling down tonight. Tracking some pleasant weather, though, and some opportunities for sunshine in the forecast. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Check this out. This is Wurz Avenue in North Utica this morning. Low-lying area adjacent to the Mohawk River. Now let this serve as a reminder to never drive through flooded roadways. This car that we just saw got stuck. The driver had to get help from first responders. But this could have been worse. The pavement could have been washed out below. The Ilion Municipal Building is closed tomorrow for some much-needed repairs to a century-old plumbing system outside the infrastructure. But as News Channel 2's Jolene...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A few light snow showers and flurries falling across the region today. If you're heading out tonight, those snow showers will be coming to an end. Just a couple of flurries in the air, but this is not going to cause traveling issues. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, things look pretty quiet as we look in downtown Utica. Mostly cloudy and much cooler today with a breeze. This weather in the wake of a cold front that came through yesterday. Searching for sunshine. Didn't see too much of it today, but we do get more opportunities over the next couple of days. A few breaks in the overcast tomorrow. Sunshine will be pretty limited tomorrow, but Thursday and Friday should be days to see the sunshine. Saturday, looking at overcast skies. We are entering the cloudiest time of the year. It's usually the middle of December to the middle of January where the cloud cover reaches its climatological peak. So again, any sunny days going forward, consider those a treat. Temperatures will be trending upwards. We're going to be in the 30s over the next several days. It's going to feel cold, but that's pretty close to average. We're usually in the low to mid 30s this time of the year. We're looking at temperatures climbing above freezing heading into the weekend and beyond. In fact, a very mild weather pattern is expected to develop as we head into Christmas week. So you look at the radar and satellite image. Today's snow showers coming from some lake effect. Again, the activity pretty light but widespread today. We've got high pressure building in from the west. That is going to help clear out the clouds. Tonight we're looking at decreasing clouds, and it gets pretty chilly. Overnight lows drop down into the low 20s to upper teens. Tomorrow, a mix of sunshine and clouds, seasonably chilly. Temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Less of a wind tomorrow compared to today. The weather remains dry tomorrow night. Partly cloudy skies, overnight lows in the 20s. And then Thursday, we should see some more sunshine with high temperatures climbing into the low 30s. So it looks like the weather is going to stay dry, which is the most important news over the next several days as we continue to keep an eye on rivers across the area. We're not experiencing any flooding at the moment, and with dry weather ahead, this is not expected to be an issue. Partly cloudy skies tonight, low temperature of 21. A mix of sunshine and clouds tomorrow. Again, pleasant, chilly, but again, that's what we would expect for this time of the year with high temperatures in the mid 30s. Thursday, the winter solstice. Temperatures in the low 30s. Friday looks dry. We are tracking some light rain and snow showers on Saturday, 37, but the weather looks great if you're traveling Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Temperatures in the 40s. Not feeling very Christmas-like, but still, the weather should be pretty nice here. Probably feeling more like Thanksgiving. It's more like Thanksgiving weather, being in the 40s.
You can have turkey.
You can have turkey.
That counts.
Again. Yeah, there you go.
All right, Bill, thank you. Millions. Let's get you back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
All right, we're talking snowfall for the city of Utica. We measured a ½ inch of snowfall today, and that brings our total for the season to 6.4 inches. As many of you know, this is a very unusual December. Usually by now we've had multiple snowstorms, and we typically average over 20 inches of snow. That last rainmaker, the last couple of rainmakers, if it was cold enough, it would be a very different story. But again, it's just been a very slow start to the snow season. We are behind by more than 14 inches of snowfall, and it's becoming harder to make up. It's not impossible. A couple of big storms would make a difference, but we're not seeing any anytime soon. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. Just a few flurries out there this evening. If you are taking the dog out for a walk, it's a cold one. Bundle up. Temperatures will be in the 20s. Tonight's featured dog is Bandit from Clinton, and this is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We are tracking some warmer weather heading towards Christmas, so look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Last-minute Christmas shoppers may not be able to buy certain apples.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking a few flurries out there this evening, but in general, the weather is expected to dry out. And we're expecting a dry stretch of weather to continue for most of the week. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet, and we really need this quiet weather with all the flooding that took place yesterday. Stream levels are still very high, but they're all going to be falling across the area. And I just checked several different rain gauges, some of the ones we talked about last night. Hinkley Dam, Delta Lake, they're running high, but they'll stay below flood stage. So some good news there. Again, going forward, things will continue to improve. Let's talk about daylight. We are in some of the darkest days of the entire year, especially the evening times. The sunset today, 4:27. Tomorrow, it's 4:28. Believe it or not, it actually gets brighter as we go forward, even though we haven't made it to the winter solstice. That's going to be on Thursday. There's a difference between when the sunset times change versus the sunrise times, and we're going to be starting to see slow changes with that over the next several days. So live look in Old Forge, snow on the ground, a temperature of 22. So even when the weather is pretty mild, we still get these bouts of winter weather. Again, we live in a very cold climate. It's very hard to escape winter, even in the mild ones. And that's what's going to be the case here over the next several days. Temperatures will be in the low 30s. Looking ahead, though, a significant pattern change. We're expecting some much warmer weather to arrive as we head towards Christmas. Skywatchers checking in. Again, it's a cold night. Forestport 26, Barneville 25, New Hartford 27. Across southern valleys, Fairfield 25 degrees, Mohawk 27, Inlet 22. Westford 23, Worcester, Carroll with 25 degrees, Stewart and Cooperstown 24. High pressure builds in from the west. That's going to bring an extended period of dry weather, and then as the high pressure system heads to the east, the winds turn into the southwest, and we see a warming trend. Tonight, decreasing clouds, overnight lows drop into the low 20s. Mix of sunshine and clouds for Wednesday. It looks pleasant. High temperatures climb into the 30s. Less wind tomorrow compared to today. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the 20s. Sunshine Thursday, a north wind. So it will be a colder day, but it should be a nice one as we head into the winter solstice, high temperatures in the low 30s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 21. Tomorrow, pleasant day, less wind, and not quite as cold today as today was, rather, a high temperature of 36. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Mid-30s on Friday, partly sunny skies. On Saturday, a few very light rain and snow showers are possible. I don't think that's going to impact travel. 37. The weather warms up heading into Christmas. Christmas Eve, 42. Christmas Day, 46 with some sunshine. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the upper 40s on Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Watching News Channel 2 at 6 with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
After a day of severe rain that led to flooding, the cleanup happened today. The good news, the weather is beginning to clear, though it is colder now. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis joins us now from the Weather Center with the details.
Well, the positive news about the cold weather is we're getting some snow showers as opposed to rain. We obviously don't want to see any more of that in terms of flooding, which, by the way, we've been looking at rainfall and river gauges. All areas are now below flood stage. Even the spots that we were concerned about with rising waters are not seeing any big issues tonight. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few flurries out there this evening. Those snow showers come to an end, and yes, it is cold out there. Current temperature 28, but it feels like 15 with the wind. The winds will die down tonight. Skies clear out. sets the stage for a seasonably cold night and a couple of dry, seasonably cold days ahead, temperatures in the 30s. The weather looks to warm up as we head into Christmas. We'll take an early look. This evening, a few flurries in the air, temperatures in the 20s. Again, tracking some colder weather ahead. And look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Check this out. This is Wurz Avenue in North Utica this morning. This area is adjacent to the Mohawk River. It's a low-lying area. And this should serve as a reminder to never drive through flooded roadways. Pavement could be washed out below. Your car could get stuck like this one. This driver needed to get help from first responders. There will be no water in the Ilion.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Scattered snow showers coming to an end. This evening, temperatures are going to be pretty chilly. Let's take a live look at our Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Some very light snow today, enough to coat the ground in most areas, but not enough to cause any traveling issues. As temperatures fall tonight, we're expecting the snow to stick around at least for the short term. We picked up a little over ½ inch of snow today in the city of Utica, and we add that to the season total. We are now up to 6.4 inches, and as many of you are very much aware, it's been a slow start to the season. The numbers show we are running behind by 14 inches of snowfall for the city, comparing what's typical for today's date compared to what's out there. And again, the overall weather pattern continues to favor below average snowfall and above average temperatures here for at least the next 1 to 2 weeks. Live look in downtown Utica, things look pretty quiet out there. Searching for sunshine. Didn't see much of it today. We'll get a few breaks tomorrow, but Thursday and Friday should be sunny days before the clouds return as we head into Saturday. We're into the cloudier time of the whole year, but we do have a few breaks and few opportunities for sunshine as we look ahead. Temperatures remain seasonably chilly. We'll be in the 30s tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, and then the temperatures start to warm up, especially as we head towards Christmas. By Sunday, we're up to 42, and it looks even warmer than that on Christmas Day. Skywatchers in the 20s, Whitesboro 26, Forestport 26, heading to the east, Norway 27, Jason and Newport 27 degrees, Bill Little Forge 21, Cooperstown 24, Westford. Dave checks in with 23. The radar and satellite image shows again a few flurries out there today. High pressure builds in from the west, and that is going to clear skies out tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the low 20s and teens. Wednesday starts out with a few breaks of sunshine. We'll call it a mix of sunshine and clouds, although noticeably sunnier south of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures climb into the mid-30s. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the low 20s. Lots of sunshine on Thursday, the winter solstice. Thursday, temperatures look on the cooler side in the low 30s with less wind. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 21. Tomorrow, looking at a mix of sunshine and clouds, temperatures in the mid-30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather remains dry over the next several days. Again, the winter solstice Thursday, mostly sunny, 32. Friday, sunshine, 35. A few light rain and snow showers are possible on Saturday, 37. Christmas kind of looks and feels more like Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be a green Christmas. Temperatures in the 40s, the mid-40s, but sunshine. So if you are traveling, good news for folks that are traveling. But if you're looking for a white Christmas, not this year.
All right. Bill, thank you. Still to come here on News Channel 2 at 6, the first state.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking some pretty quiet weather across central New York this evening, getting a chance to finally dry out. And some really good news. We've been keeping an eye on area rivers. We've been watching the rain gauges over the last 24 hours, and we've seen the flooding come to an end yesterday in most areas. And some of the larger bodies of water that have been rising for the past 24 hours are finally starting to crest, and we don't have any flooding, any additional flooding to report tonight. So good news there. And as we move forward, we are expecting weather to remain that way, and no flooding is expected for the rest of the week. Our season snowfall, we picked up a ½ inch of snow today in the city of Utica. That brings our total in the city to 6.4 inches. Well, you don't need me to tell you that it's been a very slow start to winter, but when we actually put this down in numbers, we're 14 inches behind average. Usually by now, we see more than 3 times the amount of snow that we've seen for the past couple of weeks. And it looks like we're not going to see much of a change in this pattern. It's going to stay on the milder side. Not many opportunities for snow in our future. Live look in downtown Utica, pretty quiet out there. We'll get a few breaks in the overcast tomorrow. Sunshine on Thursday and Friday. Cloud cover returns Saturday. We are getting into the cloudiest part of the whole year over the next couple of weeks, so we'll take any sunshine we can get. Temperatures in the 30s over the next several days. A noticeable warming trend beginning this weekend. Temperatures climb into the upper 30s to low 40s. It is chilly out there tonight. Overnight lows, again, drop into the low 20s. We've got high pressure building in that will bring dry weather to our region. And again, tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight lows drop down into the low 20s. Mix of sunshine and clouds tomorrow, a pleasant day. High temperatures climb into the mid 30s. The weather remains dry tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight lows in the low 20s. Lots of sunshine on the first day of winter. Thursday, looking at sunshine and north wind, colder, but pleasant with high temperatures in the low 30s. Partly cloudy skies tonight, low of 21. Tomorrow, mix of sunshine and clouds, pleasant, temperatures in the mid 30s. Storm Tracker 2's 7-day forecast. Lots of sunshine here. Thursday and Friday, temperatures in the low 30s. Few rain and snow showers on Saturday. Temperatures warm up and not really going to feel like Christmas here, at least weather-wise. But if you're traveling, it should be really nice. Temperatures in the 40s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Huh. You know, I've been thinking for a while now that I haven't been seeing as much snow as previous years, and that kind of solidified it for me. 14, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, even the snow that we do get, it's been melting. It's going to happen again this week. Yeah.
Right. Unfortunate maybe for Christmas, but
yeah,
great for traveling. All right, coming up next, the Today Show has time now for a first look at the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis here. Hi, Bill.
Good evening, Mark. We're tracking some pretty quiet weather. We've been dealing with flooding over the past 24 hours. I am happy to report that all rivers in our area are below flood stage. We were keeping an eye on some of the larger ones throughout the day, but again, we've been able to avoid any additional problems here. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. 22 degrees is the temperature. It's turning cold, and we're looking at clearing skies tonight. Seasonably cold, dry days ahead. We should see some sunshine in the extended forecast. And looking ahead to Christmas weekend, the weather turns mild. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight lows in the upper teens to low 20s. And tracking some chilly weather over the next couple of days. But again, looking a lot warmer heading into the holiday. Going to look at your forecast coming up. Mark, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bill. Starting tomorrow, there.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Nice and dry across the region. Turned out to be a cold day. Temperatures only in the low 30s, and it's cold out there tonight. A lot of places falling into the low 20s. We picked up some snow today in the city of Utica. A ½ inch puts our season total to 6.4 inches. Now, you don't need me to tell you that it's been a slow start to the season, and we're running behind on snowfall for Utica. But when we put this down in numbers, by today's date, Utica averages a little over 20 inches. So we've grown a snowfall departure, a deficit of about 14 inches of snowfall. In other words, it's usually 3 times snowier compared to what it's been. And there doesn't look to be any change in the overall weather pattern. It looks like we're going to stay relatively snow-free over the next several days. If anything, it's going to warm up. And it's looking to be a green Christmas across most of central New York. Live look at downtown Utica. Things look quiet. Searching for sunshine. We'll get a few breaks in the overcast tomorrow. Sunshine expected Thursday and Friday. Overcast skies on Saturday. Enjoy any sunshine we do get because we are headed into the cloudiest time of the entire year over the next couple of weeks. Temperatures will climb into the 30s over the next couple of days. They'll be pretty close to average, but again, the temperature starts to swing towards the warmer side heading into the weekend. 22 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. Clear skies will drop down into the teens tonight in many areas. As high pressure builds in, that will keep us dry. And as the high pressure system heads to the east, the wind direction changes, and we're tracking some warmer weather ahead. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, again, looking at partly cloudy skies. We're dry tonight. We'll start out with some sunshine tomorrow. Mix of sunshine and clouds, temperatures in the mid-30s. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night. Overnight lows drop down into the 20s. And Thursday should feature more sunshine as winter officially kicks off. The winter solstice is Thursday. Now looking at sunshine, temperatures in the low 30s. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low temperature of 21. Tomorrow, mix of sunshine and clouds, temperatures in the mid-30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The so-called first day of winter is going to disappoint because we're going the other direction. Looking at dry weather Friday, maybe a few rain and snow showers Saturday, and then into the 40s. A stretch of 40s heading into Christmas. Good news for folks that are traveling. But if you're really hoping for a white Christmas and a more traditional type of weather, this is not going to be the year for that.
All right, well, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but what are the odds you think that we might get even a little bit of snow on Christmas, Bill?
It's not looking good.
Not looking good?
Not
Oh,
looking
sorry
good
to
at
hear
all.
that.
Yeah.
Great for travel, though. Great for travel. All right, coming up next,